So I want to move right along. I'm going to hand this off to our chair, Kimberly Cole, who is going to present the NJCFE 2022 President's Award. Kim?
Thank you. Today, I have the honor of presenting Treasurer Muoio with the NJCFE President's Award. First, I'd like to share with you a brief history of this incredible woman's career and service. She has served as the state treasurer since 2018. Prior to joining the administration of Governor Murphy, she had served as a member of the New Jersey General Assembly, representing the 15th Legislative District in Mercer and Hunterdon counties since February of 2015. During her time in the General Assembly, her legislative initiatives focused on closing the gender pay equity gap, improving the prison reentry services, increasing literacy rates, fighting against concentrated poverty, and expanding economic opportunities for all New Jerseyans. She received her JD from Georgetown University and her BA from Wesleyan University. The NJCFE's President's Award was created to recognize individuals who show through their deeds and actions an outstanding vision, dedication, and commitment to financial literacy. Winners of this award are true New Jersey leaders who work to ensure that all citizens of New Jersey have the financial literacy necessary to make informed financial decisions. I'm truly honored to be presenting this award. And honestly, one of the things that I have recently been reading is that New Jersey is probably in a better financial place than it has been in a very long time. So we give you a lot of credit for that. And with that, this award is presented in the form of an NJCFE proclamation. This format is used to memorialize not just the incredible work of the treasurer, but to forever capture the story behind this recognition. If you would please indulge me while I read the proclamation, as I'm sure that you will agree with me that our honoree is a more than worthy recipient. Whereas New Jersey Treasurer Elizabeth Maher Muoio is being recognized by the New Jersey Coalition of Financial Education with the 2022 President's Award for her department's incredible work in helping with the creation, design, and promotion of NJFinLit, a free financial wellness platform for all adult state residents. And whereas the COVID-19 pandemic showed that New Jersey families most affected by the economic downturn were the ones with the fewest resources to cope with financial instability. Whereas State Treasurer Muoio has been charged by Governor Murphy to make financial wellness accessible and attainable for all New Jerseyans, to ensure every resident has the tools they need to take control of their financial future. And whereas State Treasurer Muoio has been working for decades to expand economic opportunities and was a leader in bringing financial resources when she served as a member of the New Jersey General Assembly representing the 15th Legislative District. And whereas State Treasurer Muoio and Enrich created the educational resources, financial tools, and website outlay, thereby creating NJFinLit. And I'm not done. And whereas New Jersey FinLit enriches a free educational resource, which can be personalized by New Jerseyans at all stages of life, regardless of income, and translated into multiple languages to both help our residents strengthen their financial resiliency and enable them to reach their long-term goals. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the board and members of the NJCFE join together in expressing sincerest appreciation to State Treasurer Muoio for her years, effort, and commitment to creating NJCFinLit and diligent work as a public servant and her efforts to advance financial literacy to every resident in the state of New Jersey. Proclaimed this day, May 20th, 2022. Congratulations, Madam Treasurer, and I invite you to address our membership.
Thank you, Chairwoman Cole. I mean, that is, it's such an honor. And you mentioned the pandemic, and I know that's part of the reason we're all remote today. This was originally going to be in person, and I want to thank you personally for moving this to a remote platform, which is probably even more apropos in when you talk about what we're actually addressing today in FinLit and trying to connect more people. But I really want to thank you for this honor, and thank you and the coalition for your leadership on this extremely important topic. And I hope our efforts in Treasury continue to complement the coalition's work for the foreseeable future. Over the past 2 years, I think we've all seen how vitally important, and this is not news to anyone in the coalition, but how vitally important financial resiliency really is to our families, our colleagues, and our state. And as a department, Treasury has a remarkably wide-ranging portfolio of responsibilities. So we see this on many fronts. But our essential mission is to be the steward of the Garden State's fiscal resources. And this includes everything from managing health and retirement benefits for state and municipal employees, hundreds of thousands of employees, collecting taxes, registering businesses, maintaining state-owned properties, administering the New Jersey Lottery, and last but not least, managing the state budget process. In the spring of 2020, as we all know, what began as a normal budget season was quickly turned on its head by the COVID-19 pandemic. And as Treasury, we had to ask ourselves the same questions that households across New Jersey and the country were asking around their kitchen tables. Did we have enough savings to weather the storm? Should we seek financial support? How can we make the best fiscal decisions in a changing and unpredictable world? And because New Jersey has struggled historically to build up its surplus, we were confronted with many challenges that required belt tightening, strategic cuts, and emergency borrowing in order to weather the first year of the pandemic. And many families in our state, as you all know, faced similar financial challenges and were ill-equipped to weather this crisis on their own. And it quickly became clear that the people hardest hit by the economic downturn were those who had the fewest resources to cope with financial instability. This reality for us in Treasury was further hammered home during an event we held last summer. It was the Treasurer Symposium on COVID, Women in the Economy, and called Avoiding the Next She Session. And we had numerous panelists, economists, policymakers, and they all described how the confluence of childcare scarcity, disproportionate job losses faced by women, and systemic inequalities that were already built into our economy had pulled the rug out financially from under many New Jersey families. So in Treasury, our challenge was clear. How could we help New Jerseyans boost their financial resilience and meet their goals? The pandemic was unprecedented, but as history shows, it will not be, unfortunately, the last economic challenge we're going to face as a state, nor will it be the last challenge that many families will face as they progress through their lives and their goals. So that was where NJFinLit came in. Like the coalition, we at Treasury believe that all New Jerseyans should have access to unbiased, reliable financial resources to help them make informed decisions. And as Todd walked you through and illustrated, NJFinLit offers that for free to adult residents at all stages of life and across the socioeconomic spectrum. And I'd also just like to take this minute to thank my staff, and especially Melinda Caliendo, whose name you've heard repeatedly throughout the morning, who shepherded this effort in my office and enabled us to get from point A to today. So I want to thank her and the office. But as a Jumpstart Coalition affiliate, I know your coalition members are aware that the Murphy administration and the state legislature collaborated to incorporate financial literacy programming throughout the K-12 education curriculum. But as the coalition is also aware, the need to be able to navigate the complexities of personal finance, and as the governor mentioned when we rolled this out last month, does not end with high school, and it is by necessity really a lifelong skill. Last month, the George Washington University's Global Financial Literacy Excellence Center and the TIAA Institute released the 6th edition of their Personal Finance Index Report, which measures the knowledge and understanding of personal finance topics among US adults. And since the inception of the report, the ability of Americans to answer the 28 questions on earning, saving, borrowing, and risk has not changed very much at all. And unfortunately, financial literacy levels among young adults is lower than that of older generations. The average millennial answered 46% of the questions correctly, and Gen Z averaged 42% correct on the survey. And for anyone thinking that kids these days sort of, and rolling their eyes, baby boomers and the silent generation didn't fare too much better, with both age cohorts answering about 54% of the questions correctly. So that's one of the reasons why we feel it's so important that NJFinLit meets people where they are, wherever they are in their financial wellness journey. So by asking, again, as Todd kind of walked you through what you see when you pull up the site, we asked some basic questions up front so that people who are new to financial planning are directed to resources as they need them on budgeting, saving for emergencies, and other basic topics that are designed to take that first step towards financial resiliency. And for those with more experience, additional tools and courses, as he explained, go deeper into more complex topics like investing and cryptocurrency and entrepreneurship. And NJ, as was mentioned, NJFinLit, which was another important factor, can also be translated into multiple languages. We're the most densely populated state in the country and one of the most diverse states in the country. So that was an important feature for us. The feedback we've received so far has been overwhelmingly positive. We've reached over 2,600 who've taken the step to actually register as users, and more than 85,000 pages of content have been viewed since our launch just last month. And we can already see some of the effects of offering the platform. Approximately 1,600 have completed the initial financial wellness checkup that Todd described earlier. And a number of registered users who have been on the site multiple times have also completed the follow-up wellness checkup. And from that cohort, we can see that retirement is both a major stressor and the #1 life event New Jerseyans would like to start preparing and saving for. According to the 2021 Capital One CreditWise survey, and as has been discussed, many times already by several of you this morning, 73% of Americans rank their finances as the most significant source of stress. And for those who reported having decreased financial stress from their initial checkup, they say that using NJFinLit contributed to reducing their concerns, which is terrific. And this all tracks, as you've mentioned, with research, that there's a reason they call it financial wellness. The same personal index report that I mentioned earlier echoes the anecdotal evidence we've seen on our platform and what you too in the coalition have seen. And I'll just quote from the report that greater financial literacy tends to translate into higher financial well-being, and lower financial literacy is generally associated with lower financial well-being. And these findings show that individuals with lower levels of financial literacy are more likely to have difficulty making ends meet, more likely to be debt constrained, and more likely to be unable to cope with a financial shock like the state and the country just experienced through the pandemic. They're also more likely to spend 10 hours or more a week dealing with personal finance issues than a person who has more financial literacy. So the COVID pandemic showed us how financially vulnerable we can be at times of crisis, and providing New Jerseyans with a trusted resource to help build a stronger financial literacy foundation, we feel will help ensure that collectively we'll be more resilient in the face of future challenges and better positioned to reach our financial goals. And we're continuing our outreach efforts through social media and trusted community partners, including New Jersey Citizen Action, the legislative district offices and congressional offices all have the information and are sending it out to their constituents, and the New Jersey Business Action Center to get the word out about NJFinLit. And I encourage coalition members who have not already visited the platform to take it for a test drive. We hope it's a tool that you find valuable in your quest to expand the state's financial wellness. And most importantly, this is a new program for us. We're in a pilot year, and we really value and welcome your feedback. We've already received some great feedback just during the Q&A this morning. And we know that the coalition has its finger on the pulse of financial wellness, and your insight would be invaluable. So I please encourage you to not let this discussion end today. Please send through Melinda any questions you have, suggestions. We welcome it all. So thank you again to the coalition for championing this cause of financial wellness for so long. And I also want to thank the staff and the board of directors of the coalition for this honor. So thank you very much.
Treasurer, that was fantastic information. Before you leave, I want to make sure that we can round out some brief thoughts that we'd like you to take away with. First, my name is Michael Droulis. I'm Executive Director for the coalition. And for years, this coalition has worked with many administrations to advance financial literacy, so much so in the legislature. But this step to institutionalize something at your level that the citizens can engage is like a moonshot. It's fantastic. It's a trusted resource. And to have someone in your position with your background and knowledge promoting it, we are so confident for the outcomes as time goes on. We're just so thankful to you for this. Giving this award to you was a no-brainer. In December, we hosted a similar format as we have here regarding recovering from COVID on housing and other matters. But to have this in place in conjunction with all the other things that the administration and your office have done, New Jersey is going to fare well as we come through what the next version of this pandemic is and how we're all going to move forward with it. So thank you on behalf of the board and the members. We hope you'll consider us a continued trusted partner. We're going to do our work through our resources and networks to continue to promote this. The coalition does not promote any one curriculum, but being that this is a state institutionalized program, we have a lot of latitude to let people know about it and how important it is. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And Kim mentioned about the state's finances are doing really well, and I had to testify this week about the budget, our new found revenues, and I think your points are really important, because one of the things I've been trying to stress is the wealthy did very well last year. Corporate profits were up 25–30%. We have a lot of revenue that has come in to the state. We've been trying to be very fiscally prudent to prepare for, what everybody seems to think is coming, which is sort of an end to the sort of this big influx of revenue. We need to start preparing for what, a potential recession, whatever, challenges. There are a lot of challenges out there, as I know this group is well aware. And it sort of drives home the message of, we need to be prepared. You need to think about what your goals are for the future, how you're going to continue to have the resources to meet them, and this financial literacy and the efforts of your group to make sure people keep their eye on the ball there, and it could be tempting to want to spend all this revenue, whatever people are seeing it at home, whatever, but you need to be prepared. We've got inflation concerns, interest rates are going up, and people need to be cognizant of that. And we're hoping that these tools will help so that we don't have the situation where people feel like they have the financial rug pulled out from under them and they can't meet their goals, whether it's putting their kids through college, having a stress-free retirement, having something set aside in case your roof starts leaking in a bad storm. So I just want to thank you all, because I know you've been leading the charge on this for years, and we really see you as a valued partner, and really value your input in this as we have this first year of this program. So thank you. I really appreciate the recognition and the input.
Well, thank you, Treasurer. I'm sure that the state needs your attention back on this budget, and you've been very kind with your time, and your office has been very helpful in preparation for this. So thank you very much. You're welcome to stay as long as you like. We're going to move on to wrapping up the conference now.
All right, thank you. Hope to meet all of you in person sometime soon. Thank you.
Thank you. What a wonderful, wonderful presentation. Thank you very much to the Treasurer. This is a great program. And as always, Kim, your comments were so eloquent. All right, we wouldn't have an NJCFE event if not for the opportunity to let everybody know what's going on with the organization and how we can continue to go forth and advance our programming. So let's go to the next slide. You'll see while we're moving through the slides that there is a survey that we're going to ask you to please fill out. So please do not leave this webinar without filling out that survey. First of all, you are the practitioners, you are the people on the street doing the work. Your input into this program and future programs is what makes this valuable. So please be very thoughtful in your response, and we welcome anything you can add there. Also too, it's for our CEUs, you need to fill out that survey. As you can see, we have listed on the screen, we have a vacancy on our board. Mr. David Vinokurov, a true rock within our organization, has moved out of New Jersey and has resigned his board position. We are actively seeking a replacement for David. David was huge in the utility community. He was a wealth of information and a channel for utility programs, programs that help people in time of need to keep their lights on and their energy flowing. So we're interested in a board member who can pick up that challenge. David was very active in South Jersey, particularly Atlantic County. That's a hole that we'd like to see filled. And of course, in the process, we're always looking for new energy, more brains to the brain trust, more folks who can help us drive this organization to what is needed in the upcoming world. So make yourself known. We always are welcome to send us your resume. Quick note, hey, I'm interested in being part of the board, and we'll have a chat, and we'd love to have some new blood. As we wrap up, I want to talk about some of the upcoming programs we have. Our NJCFE webinars, we have been working, as been noted earlier, very hard to push back to in-person, with many attempts, and some starts and fits and stops. So we will continue to push our virtual webinar program. Our webinars were very popular before people were doing webinars. Now I know there's a sea of webinars, but as an organization with a statewide charge, this digital connection really helps us to make sure that we are properly meeting our charge and our goals. So next slide. Our next meeting is going to be a virtual meeting, a quarterly meeting. Barry Simmons, who is from the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission, will be presenting on helping teachers invest wisely, retirement investing with 403B and 457B plans. This programming is very helpful to some of our teachers, our public servants who are doing the great work in the schools. It's a virtual event. We ask that you register ahead of time, and the board will be meeting again in the summer and really looking at what our future meeting formats will be. I do appreciate the boards, as I meet with them and talk with them as we move through formats. They have a very flexible perspective. The board makes sure that our program carries forward and does so by being able to pivot as we need to between digital, hybrid, all in person. So please, you'll see a link in the box for this event. Register here before you leave this webinar. All right, let's move on. So if a board seat is not right for you at this time in your life, but you feel like you have something to give, there's a ton of opportunities for volunteers to come in. We often receive information from folks who want to teach financial literacy. We always welcome that. But we also need folks who are community leaders who will continue to bring other organizations to the coalition. People who are nonprofits, people in schools, people in the public sector, people in higher ed, people in the private sector, anyone who has a skill, a talent, or even an interest. We would love for you to volunteer and get involved today. Or if it's not the time of your life where you can put more time in, but you do want to make a donation, on our website, we accept donations of all levels. We're very pleased with the donation campaign. It's helping to keep these programs free in combination with the sponsorship of Affinity Federal Credit Union. If not for them, we could not have our full-time presence. I will tell you, New Jersey is the only state right now that has a full-time presence. Most of the other coalitions are centered around a month, a week, an event. Your coalition is a full-time organization because of Affinity and because of donations from others. All right, so I've talked as long as I'm going to talk. We're going to go to the last slide. And our Amazon.com gift card giveaway. Now, people may be asking, why are you giving away an Amazon gift card? Well, because the folks who are on this webinar and people who are attracted to doing good things in the community don't always have the resources. And I hear time and again about the stories of people going out and purchasing materials for a classroom or purchasing some type of software or so they can push forth our mission. So this Amazon.com gift card giveaway is given to one person who registered, who is here, has to be here to accept it. And we hope that you will use this gift to promote financial literacy, to acquire the tools that you would otherwise put it out of your pocket to acquire. So with that, Mr. Berger, you started us off, so you get to wrap us up and give one lucky registrant the good news.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Michael, and thank you for that. I'd say yes, one lucky registrant who is here, and the winner of our Amazon gift card giveaway is Jamila Barker. So I see that she is here. I'm going to ask her to reach out to us. I will make sure we have her email and so that we can send it to her. And it's the winner of a $50 Amazon gift card. And we thank you for attending and for winning. We thank everyone else who attended as well, who entered into this chance to win. Thank you.
All right. Well, Ryan, real quick question. Did we get an opportunity to maybe let Scott speak about his organization and our partnership today?
I don't believe we did.
All right. Scott, can I put you on the spot for a moment?
Sure.
All right. And Scott, this is good because we are within moments of completing our 2 CEU time requirement. So tell us a little bit about our venture and your organizations and your organization and our future, please.
Sure. And I'd also like to extend, if I may, an invite to Ellen, who I see on the call as well, as our president of the New Jersey Business and Technical Education Association. We have been delighted over the past year plus in our partnership and looking forward to moving forward. We, of course, we have a broader audience for the New Jersey BTEA, but certainly there is overlap in terms of our personal financial education teachers in the public schools and, well, all schools, I should say, for financial literacy and preparing our kids for the future. So we are grateful for the opportunity. We appreciate being included. We will continue to partner in a variety of different ways so that we can strengthen the overall reinforcement of financial literacy and business practices across our high school students and public school students for that matter. It doesn't just have to be high school, but we tend to talk high school. So with that, I don't know, Ellen, if you're on the call, if you wish to share any thoughts or comments as well, I'd invite you in to share your thoughts on that as well. If not, then I want to thank you for the opportunity, and I'm glad to be on both sides of the fence, because I think from where I sit, it brings some unification and strong collaboration between our two organizations, respectfully. So thank you for that opportunity.
All right. So Ellen, if you'd like to say a few words, you're welcome to. If not, I will ask Kim Cole, our chair, to wrap us up.
Great. Let me find there we go. Great, thank you. I would like to take just a moment of your time and just kind of point out the work that Michael Drulis and Ryan Berger have done for NJCFE. All the content of these events are put together by Michael and Ryan. And when I tell you that it is not an easy feat, trust me, I come from a place of seeing it in the works. And I think that those that often organize are not often recognized. And without them, NJCFE would not be what it is today, would not be up and running, and would not be able to bring you the wonderful events that we have done in probably the last almost 10 years. So I would like to just take a moment and thank you both for your continued dedication, your passion of moving this such an important message out to the people of New Jersey. And just let you know that those of us that you take the burden off of when it comes to doing a lot of the legwork, it doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you both very much.
Ellen had indicated she's muted, so I don't know if you can unmute her for a minute, perhaps.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted now, and I am delighted to be here. Past board members, perhaps I can get more involved in the future. I'm retired. I'm still president of New Jersey Business Teachers, and I look forward to a continued partnership with your organization and being able to bring programs to the students at both the high school and the college level, as well as to senior citizens and other trust holders within the organization, within the state of New Jersey. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Ellen. Good things to come.
I
All
look
right,
forward
everybody.
to it.
I hope you all enjoy the scorcher of a weekend. We're getting our first taste of summer on Saturday. Get out there, enjoy it. And we look forward to seeing everyone in June at our next meeting. Have a great day. We'll shut down the webinar, please.